everybody. Welcome back to the Friday Society. I am here with Erica Quillen, my really good friend, and we started working together. Actually, I was a client of hers how many months ago now? I don't even know, like 6 to 8 months ago, maybe somewhere around there.
Right before California. So I think it was like right through, not May, right before May, April. I think it was
Okay,
April. I think it was April. I
maybe.
know it was April, actually, because it
Okay.
was right after, like, remember Easter and all the things.
Yes, yes,
It was
yes.
like right,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
End of
So
April,
anyway,
early May.
so Erica is a health coach and she's the founder of Feel Good with Erica. Welcome, Erica. I'm super excited to chat with you and, you and me chat forever, but I'm excited to have everybody hear about you and your company.
Oh, thank you so much, Alexa. I'm so happy to be here. We've been talking about doing this for so long. So
Forever.
let's do it, girl.
Okay. So, can you tell everybody about yourself and kind of your approach to healthy eating and what you work on with clients?
Yes. So, like Alexa said, I'm Erica. I am the founder of Feel Good with Erica, which means that I'm a holistic health and nutrition coach. I help people one on one through personalized approaches to eating, to lifestyle, to figuring out what movement is going to serve them best. And truthfully, a lifestyle revival. So I am so passionate about all things health and wellness that literally just talking about it, I mean, just brings me so much joy. It is the most exciting thing that I just don't feel like I ever get sick of. Um, and my approach to healthy eating, and really, I think at the root of it is what I more so than just eating is what I want to do in life, which is always sustaining energy and creating energy and getting rid of energy that just doesn't serve me, doesn't serve anyone else. And so when it comes to food, it's that same thing. And what that means with food is in order to sustain your energy, you need to make sure that your blood sugar is balanced. So what that can mean is just making sure that you're eating in a way that sets you up to have energy throughout your entire day, opposed to feeling like, okay, I wake up, I need a million cups of coffee. And yes, I want the scone with that. And then 10 a.m. rolls around and you're ready for the next meal and all the things. I really have the approach of eating of like this. I'm on calls like all day long, or I'm doing things. I'm running around, working out or going for a walk or whatever, where I don't necessarily want to be eating and crashing every 90 minutes, right? Like every couple hours. I want to be sustained. And so my approach is really taking what I know to be true scientifically about food and also matching that with where a person is at in their life and what season that looks like they're in, and what their goals are. Same thing with myself. Like I, want to make sure that I'm constantly reassessing, like, where am I at right now? And what are my goals right now? And that's going to look different with, my bridal clients, or when I got ready for my wedding, that experience is going to look different than what it looks like getting ready to get pregnant, or, that phase in your life too. And knowing that healthy eating is going to look different for everyone. But if you have the basic knowledge of how food works in your body, that can be really empowering.
Yeah,
So
I love
I,
that.
I love to empower my people. I think when you can come from an approach of like, wow, I can understand what food does and I can understand how to make that work for me, that makes people excited, opposed to just feeling like, oh no, I need to lose 5 pounds. I needed to be deprived.
Totally. Okay. I want to talk about because you said lifestyle revival,
Mhm.
and I think that's amazing. And I think, myself included, but I have also seen you with clients really get into the emotional things that are holding people back that might potentially be impacting their goals. Right. And I'm curious if you've always had a passion for having like deep conversations with people and, where that came from. And I think kind of the second part of that is like, when did you realize this was the work that you wanted to be in with people?
Yeah. So I have always been like a soul sesh, deep talk type of girl. Like looking back, like even when I was younger, I was so obsessed with like psychology in school. Like I just thought it was so fascinating that there's so many parts to us, and like being able to understand yourself on a level of like, okay, this is emotional, or this makes me feel this way. Like I remember from a very young age just being very, very intrigued by that. And I think that when it comes to the soul sesh or like the deep dive, it's like I'm very out of alignment when I'm not in those conversations, so I don't really know how to, like, I feel very uncomfortable with surface level things. Like that's where maybe like some of my social anxiety could peep in, or like, I just like don't know. I just don't love that,
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, I want to be all in, and that of like, I need to understand why you're reaching for these things. And like, I need to understand like the things that you're not even allowing yourself to tell yourself. Like, I need to understand that. Um, and I think I've always been very empathetic, and so that's been like the biggest blessing. And sometimes it comes up as hard for me, but it was like a gift that I feel I was given. And I don't know how to. I think there's so many diet books out there, there's so many plans out there. Like I can't tell you the amount of plans that I've bought on Instagram, on, all the books, all the things. Like you should see my library. And like the piece that was missing was like, oh, I'm really great Monday through Thursday. And then Friday comes and I'm like, I just go off the rails. Well, why is that? I needed someone, which it was not in a book that I could read. It wasn't on, I couldn't find it anywhere. And it wasn't until I really started to be my own guinea pig with this that I was able to uncover that. And I just,
what was your reasoning of why you were going off the rails?
Yeah, I think I was working a lot, and this was even when I had a job that I loved. So this was, Pure Barre. I was a manager of Pure Barre for a couple years, and I absolutely loved my job. And I did, it required a lot, but I would be really great Monday through, Thursday. And then I had Fridays off. And so then it was like, okay, like I just was tired, and I was just like really, really on for a long amount of time. And then it was like, okay, I am trying to be so perfect Monday through Thursday, right? Like with all my Tupperware, my plans. And I would even wake up before I'd have to go to the studio, and like, I would do all of the things. And it just, it just was like, I was scaling I thought it was balance, but like, I was actually just like trying to be perfect. And like, those are two completely different things. And that just happened to show up Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday would roll around. And I'm like, okay, what's my plan for today? And my friend, she actually had managed another Pure Barre, and we would always, it was like the thing. It would be like, okay, what are we doing this week? Like, what's our detox? What's our, all of the things. It was just constantly making up for something. And like that just gets really old after a while, right? And it's like,
yeah, and it's exhausting.
It's exhausting, and it constantly just leaves you feeling defeat. Like it feels so defeating. And I think that there's a moment where you're like, there has to be another way, and so really kind of also too, like there's so much information out there on Instagram and on, all these different people on YouTube and books and all the things. And there's an element where you have to be able to pair the things that you're finding via whatever source you want to use. And you have to pair it with like you. And where I was missing the mark was I was just so obsessed with following whatever plan of the week or the month, whatever you want to call it, that I wasn't asking myself what was working or what wasn't working. And I wasn't even having those conversations with my mind. I just felt like there must be something wrong with me because I can't follow this plan, or I can until I can, you know? So that internal question, that internal, thought-provoking conversation was the thing that was missing. And it's the thing that I find now is missing with a lot of my girls in the beginning, thinking that
Yeah.
something's wrong with you.
And I think that's such a great call out is, that your approach is to sort of really get into the reflective conversation with people and to encourage them to go there and kind of ask like the why behind, everything that you're doing. So yeah, I mean, I just think that's so amazing because I think a lot of people do feel like a failure when they can't follow something that was successful for somebody else. And it's like, your business is not someone else's business and your diet shouldn't be someone else's diet. Like your movement shouldn't be someone else's movement. Like you are designed for things to function, specifically to you. So I love that you're bringing that to it.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So let's kind of get into the marketing side of your business. So I found you because my longtime friend Kit was working with you. She is one of your bride clients, which is exciting. But I found you because she posted something about you on Instagram. And so I started following you, obviously loved your personality. You're super like magnetic. And I'm curious if Instagram has been the source of your acquisition for clients or, kind of where most of your clients are coming from, because I think there are, a lot of independent contractors, let's say, who are listening to the podcast and are kind of curious, like, how do I get most of my clients? And, I do know also that you were managing a Pure Barre. So I'm just curious kind of like your thoughts on acquisition and where most of your clients are coming from.
Yeah. So I have been extremely blessed with the fact that I have not paid one dime in marketing. My entire business is based on referrals. And I think that when we think about why that is for me is I take when I say that I take a new client on, I literally I take them on. Like I am like this. I'm like, I need to know what's going on in your life from the second you wake up. The moment your eyes open, I need to know what's going on in your brain, what your habits are, what it is that you're reaching for, where it is that your mindset is from that moment. From the very beginning of even when I wasn't even charging people, I started my business with, I worked with 6 people complimentary so that I could create, first of all, so I could create an understanding of what it was that I was going to be doing for people and getting that practice out into the world. And so I took and take each person on as if it were my own goals that I was having. And there is not, I do not have a specific, we talked about blood sugar balance being, definitely the way that I approach healthy eating. We talked about, some of those things very lightly, but yes, that's the root, but there is nothing that I am I'm not sending everyone the same PDF. I'm not sending everyone the same week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, whatever that is. Because as you know, everyone comes to you at a different season in their journey. And so I know that my success when it comes to how marketing through these referrals has worked for me is because I genuinely, I care so much. I don't even know how to describe the way that I feel like when I have someone on the other end of the phone, I am taking that client and their goals to the next level as if they were mine. And so because of that, it's my goal, I literally get on consults with people or first calls with people. And I'm just like, my goal isn't that you need me forever. My goal is that if you want me forever, you can have me forever. But I want you to feel so good in your body and in your life that everyone starts asking you, what are you doing? One of the best compliments I ever received was from one of my girls through, again, another client, is she was just like, yes, I had noticed she lost weight, but there was like, her spirit was different. And to me, I just get the chills even thinking about that. Is like, that's my goal. And so then because of that, that people see that, right? Like, people feel that energy. Again, we go back to the root of everything. Energy is so real. And when people can see that someone has made such a radical shift, yes, in the way that their clothes are fitting, and yes, they're a size or two lower, and all of that, the people in their life are going to know, and they're going to wonder, and then they're going to want to get in on that, because this life is, I feel, this is it. Like, this is all we got. And so we're here to be and to feel as good as we want to be. And I believe that that's capable for every single person. And that is just, that's my marketing. Like, that is my marketing. So yes, Instagram, 100%. Like, so many people have found me through Instagram. I love Instagram as a source. And it's a way for me to connect with my clients and, now like my feel good followers and all of my people. And it's worked really, really well for me. And when it comes to Pure Barre, you brought that up too. It's like, I was, again, same thing. It goes back to just being radically curious and obsessed with who your client is. Like, I wanted to know every single thing about every person that was coming in at 8:30. Great, cool. I want to know everything about you. And because of that, because I actually cared, because I was actually like, oh my gosh, how is your daughter? How is, what's going on with your husband? Like, whatever it is, I was there 5 days a week. And then my assistant manager was there the 2 days that I wasn't. It was me and her. And she was just as passionate as I was. And that works. And that led to us having the best retention in Pure Barre in 2017. And so when you think about retention, when you think about how do you actually get to cultivate a service for people that makes them feel like they're a part of something and that makes them feel that they're heard. So many people just, no one's listening anymore. Like, no one is listening. And so that is, I think for so many people, is like, they carve out 50 minutes of their life, whether that's weekly or bi-weekly or 3 times a week with me, or a month with me. They carve that out, and it's like, they get that time to just share their heart.
Yeah. And I think that's such a good point of like, we are in a social media sort of realm where, when you say no one's listening, it's like everyone is spewing out their opinions all the time. And I think it does require a certain type of person to be able to just sit back and hold space for people in like an effective way. And, I love that you do that. And it reminds me of another episode I did, the one, I think you loved it actually, with Gabby Cohen. She was like one of the founding members of Soul Cycle. And she was just like, I love people. Like, she was like the head of PR for Soul Cycle. And she was like, literally, I love people. I love connecting with people. I love talking to people. I want to hear about your life. I want to hear about your sister and your trip and all these things. And will it grow your business? 100%. But like, will it do it in a way where you feel fulfilled? Yes. And that is even more important. And I just think like, I think there's a very specific element of marketing where you really always just need to be focused on the value that you're bringing people and on your actual relationship with them. So I think that's just so important. It does raise a question, do you find it difficult because you're in this like deep work with people and you're, like you said, like you take on their lives and their goals as if they're your own. Do you ever find it challenging to be so ingrained with so many people? Like, how do you protect your boundaries and your energy when you're so deeply in it energetically with your clients?
Yeah. I have to do everything in my power day in and day out to protect my energy. And for me, that looks like blocking out my mornings. So like, I do not take calls before 10 a.m. Like, that is just like where I'm at in this season of life. And like that can shift, right? Like as I grow in my life and like one day have babies and all of the things. But like right now, where I'm at is I do not take calls before 10 a.m. And that is because that is like my part of the day where I know that like I have control over what it is that I give to myself in that first part of the day. It's what I call with all my girls morning magic. And I believe that, maybe you don't have time to go for like an hour walk like I did this morning. Sometimes I don't even have time for that. Do you know what I mean? But like there is time to, maybe you hop on your Peloton, maybe whatever it is in your morning that you can create some magic that you can give back to yourself is like the most important thing for me personally. And when it comes to life, like I do not overextend myself. So like my in-laws, they always make a joke how like Lucas and Erica can never commit to anything because we're just like, we're both 6'2" manifesting generators. And so that's always really funny too, because we're just like, we don't know if we're going to want to go to dinner in 2 weeks. Like we just can't commit. And so I just do not commit to things. If it is not a 100% hell yes for me, it can't happen because I know that everything that I say yes to means that I say no to something else. And that I am no different than anyone else. But there have been too many times where I've been a yes girl. And then the person who ends up being exhausted, wiped out, drained, like on the verge of a breakdown is me. Right. And so I live with my phone. I do not have the ringer on my phone. Oh, you're calling me? It's not ringing. It is like more than half the time my phone's on do not disturb. Any group chat I'm in, it's muted. Like I have to be so environmentally relaxed. It's really, really big for me. And I spend a lot of time alone. I have to, right? Like on a busy day for me, I'll have 7 clients in a day. That's like a really busy day. That happens. And I like the sweet spot of like 4, 5,
Yeah.
That's where
Yeah.
I
I mean,
feel.
also, guys, her sessions are like almost an hour. Like that's 7 hours of speaking and listening and absorbing, someone else's energy. That's a lot. That has to be draining.
Yeah. And it's like, I've also worked really well with like shifting my schedule around. And like, I'm in that conversation with my clients of like, hey, do you think you can move here, move there? And it's like 7 doesn't happen as much as it used to. But I have to be able to do the things that I know work really well for me. And I find I need a lot of time to recharge. And a lot of that looks like time by myself or time, just me and Lucas. And because I will take on, I don't know how to not give 100% a lot of the time when I'm with people, especially if I love them, real big. And so it's just really important and this even comes down to food. Like if I don't love it, I'm not eating it. Are you kidding me? Like I want everything in my life to be a hell yes. And as many things, right? Like it's not always possible to like have everything, but like as many things is a hell yes, because at the end of the day, I've been through so many times, Alexa, in my life, just like going back of like, I go to the point of like, I go, I do, I do all of that. And then guess what? I did this with skating. I was a figure skater growing up. I went so hard, right? 10 years of my life. My final year of skating, I made it to my 3rd world championship. I literally was like, I'm done. You can send the next girl. Like, I don't want to put my skates back on. I did that with my management job at Lululemon. I woke up. I said to Lucas, I'm done. I'm going to change my life. I can't do this anymore. Like I have done it so many times where I know the cost of me taking on too much and just like not protecting my energy, that the cost of not doing that is just not something it's not worth it to me anymore.
Yeah, that's so important. And I think, I mean, just knowing your own boundaries, I think definitely comes with time, and it comes with learning these experiences, like
Totally.
you have to draw on these experiences. Okay, so final question. I know that you went through a price increase recently, which
Mhm.
is amazing and very necessary for small businesses, but a lot of entrepreneurs have a lot of trouble with that. And as a small business, you should be increasing your prices at least once a year. Like that's the bare minimum, is like you should be doing that. And I was so proud of you that you did. Walk me through how you were able to have the conversation with some of your clients of like, hey, I'm increasing my prices, this is what it is now. And like what came up for you, and how did you kind of find the courage to get you through it? Because I know it's very intimidating to do that as a small business owner.
I mean, literally, you just saying that makes my like stomach just like do something that is not good, because money is so weird, right? Like I've had to do so much work on my money mindset. And Alexa, I will never forget the night we went to dinner and you looked at me and you're like, also, I mean, we have so much to talk about, but like you have got to raise your prices. And like I just needed to hear that, because I just always thought that like getting by was enough. And like this gift that I do feel that God gave me, the way that I'm able to connect with people and take them on and do all of these things. Like I feel like that was something that is like I had to get over the hump of like it's okay for me to charge people for this, because I literally feel like it was what I was made to do in this world, like how God made me up. And like that, yeah, I just get the chills saying that. Like that took me so long. So like I do think it's important for people to not like you need to feel connected to the price that you are charging people. Like for me, what I charge now, I could have never charged that in the beginning, because I didn't feel that, right? Like I didn't know that. But like when you do the work and when you work with your clients and when you run your business and when you're getting those testimonials, those are all like dings, like, hey, you're doing it. Hey, you're doing it. There's your confidence boost. Hey, guess what? This is okay. And so for me, one of my girlfriends, she's business development for, she's worked for some major brands in the past. And I was really confiding in her about, and we had similar money mindsets and, just about my fear around this. And like, when I say fear, I mean, it killed me. But it was absolutely necessary. And she was like, I'm like, how do I talk to people about this? Like, how do I, like, I'm so good. I can cry with people. I can have them cry and be fine. But how do I do this? And so she was like, listen, take yourself out of it, put it in an email. So I had let them know, hey, I had made my adjustments before summer. And so I was like, I gave them plenty of time as we're working into summer. I am going to be doing a seasonal increase. These are more of the rates of what it is that I should be charging with where I'm at now, the clients that I've had. And I made it again, like I do everything else. It's like, I just was so like me, right? So it's like when I told them on the phone, hey, I am going to be sending you an email over. I'm going to be switching some things up financial wise, whatever. They had that. And then I sent an email with the information. I said, please let me know if you want to hop on a call, if you have any questions, whatever. Literally, all my clients were like, this is great. And then because I had a client, for my current clients, they got a price. And then the new clients that I have now, that's a different price. But two of my clients, literally, they were like, this is really great. And you still should be charging more. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I love that. And it's also like, my biggest advice for anyone doing this is like, you have to go at a pace that feels like good enough for you to put in paper, or for you to, be like, yes, this is my rate. But it also should scare you a little bit. And you can't break it down to like, well, I used to make this per hour at this job, right? Like that, you can't compare it like that. But I think reaching out to like, I mean, Alexa, right? I mean, you gave me so much confidence into doing that. And it just meant so much because you had been through my program. Like you had been through everything with me, And so like people know when you are like, I'm not a salesy person, you know? And so I know that my people know that that's not what it is I'm here to do, but I am here to charge a service that 100% will change your life.
100%. Yeah. You're not charging for an hour. You're charging for your experience and the results you've gotten and those testimonials and all of that. It's all lumped in there. So I'm so proud of you that you did that.
Thank you. Thank you. Me too. I'm proud of me too.
Good. You should be. Okay. Rapid fire questions.
Let's go.
We need to do a part 2 though, because we just can keep talking forever. There's literally so many questions that I didn't even get to ask you, but we'll get there.
You let me know when part 2 is happening and I'm there.
We need to do it.
Can't wait.
Okay. What is your absolute favorite blood sugar balancing meal?
Big tie between a smoothie and like a build your own bowl situation. I just am all about ease. Like I want it to be easy and I want it to taste really good. And so being able to throw everything in a blender and like having it come out tasting so delicious is, I mean, I don't know anything better than that. And then, the smoothie can hold you over for hours, or same thing. Like you have a bowl to look forward to at lunch and you're like, great, this is going to hold me over to dinner. And it tasted amazing. I don't feel deprived. Like I'm a big fan of a smoothie or a bowl, and it has to be a big bowl.
Okay.
Only caveat.
What is your favorite protein powder actually?
Great question. So when it comes, me, I'm very specific. When it comes to vanilla, I love the Primal Kitchen vanilla collagen protein.
Yeah.
That is like my absolute favorite vanilla. And then when it comes to chocolate, the Be Well by Kelly, she is the best tasting chocolate protein powder ever. And why I like these is you can flip those ingredients around, like that nutrition label around, and you can read what it is that you're
That's awesome.
Ingesting. Hands down, favorite too.
That's awesome. That's good to know.
Yes.
Okay. Your favorite song to work out to?
Oh my God. So currently I have been having a moment with Best Friend by Doja Cat. And,
nice.
Like I just was 100% a rapper who like lived my best life in my past life, like rapping about my drug deals and all the things. So anything explicit, I can't stop.
I love that.
Yes.
I saw someone I follow on Instagram. Her like 4-year-old son was obsessed with that song. And so she had to like keep trying to find like the clean versions to play for him.
Yes. Oh, it's absolutely not clean at all. I'm so glad there's a clean version out there because I'm 100% going to be that mom. Like 100%.
I love it. Okay. Software that you can't run your business without.
Okay, this isn't a software, but it's the Notes app in my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I would be without the Notes app. I take so many notes of just, so many of my ideas that come to me with clients, myself, little things. I get on my walks, I get in my workouts, I do it. It's like Notes app. It's so easy. I literally could not live without it.
Yeah.
No way.
Same.
No way.
I agree. Best business advice you ever got?
Gary V, empathy is unbelievably underrated. Can't buy it.
Yeah, that's so true. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
California.
We'll move to Summerlin together.
I mean, it's like literally on my list now.
I love it. Advice you would give to your younger self?
Two things. Two things stick out: to not feel like you're missing out, and to stop listening to other people about what's best for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I've always known.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, isn't that the thing? It's like, you've always known. And then we spend our entire life trying to get back to what we knew to be true all along.
Yeah.
Dream job besides what you're doing right now?
Today Show news anchor. That was my dream. When I was 7 years old, I was going to be the next Katie Couric. I was the news anchor of like my fifth grade elementary school. I went to a visual performing arts middle school and
this is all new information. I never knew this.
Yeah, I was going to be a newscaster.
Wow.
And that was my absolute dream. I was going to be the next Katie Couric.
I mean, there could be a health show in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's eventually that, YouTube could be a thing. Who knows? I know
Mhm.
IG Live. There's just so many avenues now, but who knows? Who
Wow.
knows?
Okay, finally, one lesson that you took from 2020 that you want to keep with you.
You and I have talked about this.
Mhm.
2020 and COVID was hands down the best thing that ever happened to me when it came to being able to launch what Feel Good with Erica is. And so, what my answer would be is that everything in life, it really does either happen to you or it happens for you. And the way you handle it and what you do with that is up to you. You know, I got furloughed. I was in my program that was supposed to be a year-long program. I switched to the accelerated version because I was locked down. I had no access to anything or anyone. And I had to sit with myself. I had to get really real. And it I am living truthfully. I wake up every day and I said, I can believe I did it, but I can't at the same time, So everything in life, whether that's a fight with a friend, a fight with your husband, whatever it is, there is something at the bottom that can bring you a life of your greatest dreams, a conversation that you have, a life change that you have to have. Every single thing in your life can happen for you if you allow it.
Mm, I love that so much. Where can people find you? How can they work with you?
Oh, please find me. Yes. Instagram at Feel Good with Erica. Erica with a C, Erica. On there, you can click my website and I offer complimentary consults. So we can hop on the phone for 30 to 45 minutes. I am a talker, as you know. So I really do love people. So I offer complimentary consults to just hear where you're at. If you want to work with me, and you can find that on my website or shoot me a DM. I would love to hear from you, or just have me follow along on my life and all of my things. Would love
We'll
it.
put that in the show notes for sure. Erica, I love you. You are amazing. Thank you
Mm.
so much for coming on here. And I'm excited to do a part 2 about, the more spiritual side of things.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I love you so big. And thank you